Welcome back to Women of Insurance, episode 11. The title should be The Standard You Set is the Life You Live. Um, this is where we go beyond policies and talk about leadership. We talk about leadership mindset and what it really takes to build something meaningful. Most people say they want more. They want more income, more freedom, more impact. But very few are willing to raise their standards to match it. Today's episode is about the gap between what you say you want and what you actually imply in your own life. I'm your host, Ezra Johns, and today I'm joined by someone who doesn't just talk about standards, she actually lives them. And I've seen this through and through since I've known her. She's a leader, a builder, and someone who has helped shape strong cultures and powerful teams from the East Coast to the West Coast. So please welcome my co-host, Tiffany Joy Menard.
Oh, yay!
Tiff, I'm
Thank you for
so
that
excited.
amazing intro. Like, wow. I'm like,
Hey,
ooh.
there's a lot more I can say about how wonderful of a human being you are, but I am truly excited for this conversation to get to pick your mind some more. So, yeah. Would you catch us up on what's been happening? I don't know how many weeks it's been, but I know over the weekend we had a great team meeting and hiking. But yeah, maybe you should start off with
Mhm.
sharing what's been brewing in your world.
Yeah. So as most of you know, that I moved back to the Bay Area. I trekked back from the East Coast all the way back to the Bay Area. Um, I got back into healthcare actually. So I am working a full-time job, but I'm still building my business in on the off hours. So doing this on a part-time basis, still building teams. Um, Still got some deals in the pipe and it's really, really exciting. It's kind of almost imposter syndrome sometimes when I am like, wow, I'm doing this and like am able to build my business. So um juggling multiple things, being newly married, like but raising my two fur dogs and just adjusting back into this life. And I'm really happy to be closer to the fire, closer to the headquarters, closer to our teams, able
Oh,
to
for
spend time on the weekend with y'all. So that's
I
really
know.
amazing.
Yeah, for sure. And
It was so much
to
fun.
you've been coming to the meetings, with all that. And so how do you do it all?
Oh, well, that leads into today's training. What I'm going to be sharing with y'all today is 10 ways to stay focused in business and in life. Let me go
Ooh.
ahead and share my screen. All right. So 10 ways to stay focused in business and in life. Um, I just wanted to share, want to start by really acknowledging before we dive in. We
Hmm.
all chose this profession, this business where people can trust us. They trust us with the things that matter most. It's their families, their future, their financial security. So I look at this business not as like a sales job, but it's really just building that relationship.
Hmm.
And the only way we really can fully show up for our clients is to really show up for ourselves first.
Mm.
So tonight, I'm really excited. Whether you're watching this live, catching a replay, I'm going to be sharing 10 ways to do exactly that.
Nice. I
So
love this.
let's get into that. All right. So the first step is really just get clear of what you actually want. Like I think most most agents, they're not just unfocused. They're unclear with what they actually want. And when we lose clarity, We stop really seeing our clients as people. We just start
Mm,
seeing them as like policies, numbers, like how many points are we submitting?
mm,
So really like before we talk about like income goals and timelines, of course we all want those.
mm,
Um, I I think just asking ourselves like, who is that family on the other side of our work? Who do we wanna help? And what this means is like showing up prepared, being consistent,
mm,
and like genuinely present when you're with them. So like writing that down, like that's your goal, your clarity. Like what is it that commitment you have to the people who are counting on you?
mm,
And then the second slide here, second step is cutting the noise ruthlessly. You know, in our industry, there's so much noise everywhere. Like there's different products we want to learn. We want to learn everything. Like I know when I first started, I was had analysis by paralysis because like I wanted to
mm,
know everything about everything before I get stepping in there. And there's so many different carriers. I wanted to know all the products, all the carriers. I wanted to know all the different systems. I wanted to know how everyone else was doing it and not just feeling like I needed to know everything before I went in.
mm,
Um,
mm,
I think really great advice is, pick your lane and protect it. Pick your lane, stay in it, and like mastering that niche.
for
What are your talents, right?
mhm,
What are you good at? And then leaning on someone else to help your upline, like leaning on your teammates to whoever is a master at,
mhm,
other products, leaning on them. So it's not like one person that's scrambling to do everything, working as a team. And kind of, I want to share with everyone, like, are you trying too many things at one time? That's not a
true.
character flaw. That's just like a sign like you really care.
Yeah.
The third one is building a simple daily structure. So we don't need that perfect structure. We really just want to have consistency.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a sample of a daily structure. You can create one that is congruent to your lifestyle, but like for in the morning, we have personal growth, preparation for the day,
Mm-hmm.
midday income producing activities. That could be doing your DMs, calling people, doing your emails, reaching out. And then the afternoon could be following up, team building. So like creating a structure, it helps you focus without thinking because you already know what you're going to be doing. You don't have to
Yeah.
be like, okay, what am I doing next? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Reason. So the next step is doing the income producing work first. Like starting your day with, your emails, your texts, your social medias. Don't start with those, but start with the calls, appointments, prospecting. You know, Getting those wins early will help focus will laser focus you automatically. In our industry, income producing work is the people work. So it's like those are the entry points to a relationship where we can help someone's family for decades.
True. Very true.
Yeah. So I know like when I first started, I'm like, oh man, like I'm so scared to be seen. I had that
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, that's scared to be seen. So I would hide behind like text messaging, social media, just making little posts here and there. Um, Emails. Like sometimes I still have this, problem. I'm working on it, but don't hide behind those emails. Like we need to see your face. We need to hear your voice. You need to go out and talk to people. Like open open your mouth and share your gifts with others.
For sure.
Mhm. Eliminate multitasking. So there's nothing more human than giving someone your full attention. There's
Mm,
nothing that erodes trust faster than a client who feels like you have like 20 million things going on in your mind. Um,
mm,
Having a single task, that's not just a productivity strategy, but it's a value statement. So it's
mm.
really letting your client know you matter enough to have all of me right now.
True.
So having that one call, one conversation, one client at a time. That's how you build that loyalty, that trust that can
Mm,
generate referrals for years. So, like, because you gave such great service for me, I know someone who else you can help. Or,
mm,
like, oh, someone is looking for this. Oh, I know someone who's helped me. So they're going to generate referrals. Number six, protect your environment. So, they say the people you surround yourself will either elevate you or bring you down or distract you. So really be mindful of like the people you're around, um,
mm,
what you're listening to. What kind of music are you listening to? Are you listening to like low frequency, or are you listening to like something that's uplifting, something that's inspiring? And then think about like the things that you watch.
mm.
If it's not aligned with your goals, it's costing you your focus.
Ooh, that's true.
And then number seven is set non-negotiable priorities. So not everything needs your time. Um, high performing agents don't just ask what needs to get done. They ask who needs them. So like every morning, identifying 2 to 3 non-negotiables, you know, whether it's a health goal, whether it's, following up with a client, maybe it's a policy review that you've been putting off or grounding, like what anchors you in the day instead of tasks. That's
Mm,
the work that needs to get done, and that means something. So, like for me, I know when I'm very busy, sometimes I forget to breathe. I
oh,
forget to like hydrate myself.
mhm.
So, once I hit those 2 to 3 things, that day's a win for me. And I'm like, okay, I'm like more focused. I'm able to show up fully for my client, show up fully for my team.
Yeah.
Number eight is training our mind like a muscle. So, um, focus is not just a trait, it's a skill. So what we feed our mind determines how sharp we stay. I know our CEO, Jeff Delgado, he has a list of different books that has changed his life. So he calls it like the
Mental.
rhino mentality or rhino, yeah, like the rhino mentality. So like what are you reading daily? What are you constantly like learning? Are you constantly trying to grow?
Mm,
And then listening to strong content. So like who are you listening to? Who are your mentors that that they don't even know that they're your mentors yet? Like listening to we have so many resources nowadays, like we have so much access to different podcasts,
mhm.
different people that you might relate to, maybe you might want to learn from. So learning to that strong content and then limiting junk input. So that's like I know I'm guilty of doom scrolling for hours, but like really auditing your social media, auditing we all are going to doom scroll. So like, what are you going to doom scroll about?
Mhm.
What you determine your mind, what you feed your mind determines how sharp you stay.
Yup.
And then number nine, learning to say no without guilt, boundaries, setting
Mm,
boundaries. Some of us in this industry, we're people pleasers by nature. Like I'm guilty of that. We got a lot of us have got into this work because we care, but saying yes to everything means, saying yes to nothing fully.
Oh,
I'm gonna say that one more time. Saying yes to everything is saying yes to nothing fully. So if you're gonna be saying yes to everything, you could be saying, you know, the wrong, like you could be saying yes to something that can distract you.
true.
That could lead to a no for your future.
Yeah.
And, every time we take on a client, and like that could be that could be like saying yes to like the wrong client, right? Just because you want to make the sale.
Mm-hmm.
So when
Then you
you take
touch
on the
back.
wrong client who's not the right fit, you agree to something that will drain you, that could be a chargeback. You're gonna have less energy to give to people who might be a better fit. You don't have to, explain your discipline. Focused people really protect their time. So protecting your energy, protecting your time, setting those boundaries. And then number 10, the last one is remember why you started.
Yeah.
Your why, like really just focus on your why. Um, that's the most important moment, slowing everything down and just remember why you started, why you want to hit those income goals. What do those income goals mean to you? How many families are you helping? Um, is it, the family that doesn't lose their house because you were there? Is it the the individual who like the widow who has their check in hand, when after losing their loved one, their spouse, because you made sure that the policy was right. Um you were there to, help them make the right decisions for them.
Mm-hmm.
Is it that small business, who was able to keep their doors open because you had that conversation um, that they almost didn't take?
Mm-hmm.
Is it for your family who you you helped put them in a better situation, help to get their money to grow like more? They have
Mm-hmm.
so like when your focus slips, and I'm not gonna lie, it will. Just really go back to your goals. You know, look back at, why you want to do this, why you started this in the first place. Get back to those goals, your family, your standards. That emotion of like really channeling your why, that's going to fuel your focus when you go astray.
For sure. Wow.
Mhm. And here is my contact info for
Hey.
those who want to learn more, who want to talk about this more, who have any questions. My name is Tiffany Choi Menard. Here's my email. It's Tiffany at mybiz2biz.com. And then you can follow me on Instagram at tiffanychoi.co.
Hey, wow.
Mhm.
I'm blown away because what you've shared is so simple, and I just really want to take a moment to like really acknowledge you. Thank you for breaking this down like so clearly. Your 10 ways to stay focused wasn't just a list, but it's really a blueprint. And what I took from this was, focus isn't about doing everything. It's about getting crystal clear on what actually matters and having the discipline to protect it. Um, from writing down what you want to cutting the noise out, to prioritize income producing activities. Um, when you said that, I was like, "Oh, I'm getting called out," because I know when I wake up, I am doom scrolling. However, I have audited my feed to be more doom scrolling of
Mhm.
the things that are, what I want to get into more, so
Mhm.
less drama shows, just less stuff that's very distracting. And
Mhm.
honestly, one of the biggest ones you said was learning to say no without guilt, right? I think that alone can
Mhm.
change, someone's entire life in business. And you did make it clear that focus is not something you're born with. It's something you
Mhm.
train, and that's a daily thing. And for everyone watching, especially our insurance agents who are in business with us, like if you feel stuck, if you feel inconsistent, if you feel like you're doing a lot but not getting results, which everyone has had starting out. I can say I have. Yeah, we
Mhm.
both have. The, like this is really your answer. This 10-step blueprint that Tiffany shared with us is your answer. It's not another it's this is it. This is the blueprint. There's no other strategy. There's no other lead source you can get. It's really your focus. So, um I think I'm going to create a challenge. Pick one thing from Tiffany's list, just one, and commit to it for the next 7 days, right? I think no
Ooh.
distractions, no excuses. I know y'all been going to the gym where you guys wake up and, say a little prayer. This might be another one. So pick one thing from the 10 to start off with and do that for the
Mhm.
next 7 days. Because, the agents who win in the industry aren't the ones doing the most. They really aren't. They're the ones doing the right things consistently, I think to say. And
Mhm.
if you got value from this episode and Tiffany's training, please share it with another agent or someone who just needs to hear it, because you can take this outside of this business and apply it to your everyday life or whatever goal that you have in your life, right? Most importantly, take the lessons, take the blueprint, and apply it, because nothing changes until you do. Tiffany, thank
Mm.
you again for sharing this with us. We appreciate you. I appreciate you. And we will see you on the next Women of Insurance episode. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.